As drop-box voting was implemented by Virginia's Democrat-run government during the height of COVID in 2020, questions of potential security issues surrounding this voting method arose. Fairfax County Republican Committee Chairman Steve Knotts tells One American News how early voting for Virginia's gubernatorial race is under close scrutiny.
Well, in Fairfax County, the drop boxes are available for delivering ballots, and they're at the early voting locations. From what I'm hearing, there are election officers that are supposed to be monitoring these boxes, and we have poll watchers in all of these locations as well. One of the things that lessens my concern in Fairfax County is early voting has only been a fraction of what it was in 2020. We're at about 50% on both absentee request and early voting. And of that, only a small percentage of the ballots being returned are being returned to the drop boxes. Most of them are coming back through the mail system and are being processed through that manner as opposed to being pulled from the drop box.
According to a Washington Times report, the Virginia drop box locations for ballots are not being monitored by public officials. Knotts assured these drop boxes are being monitored by enthusiastic GOP community leaders and volunteers.
It has been fabulous this year. The people have come out that have really never been activists or organizers before. They're coming from all walks of life. Both the RPV, the Republican Party of Virginia, and Fairfax GOP have done training sessions, both live and recorded, to make sure that people know what to do when they get in there. They're approved by us to go in, and they're coming from all areas. So the volunteerism this year has been fantastic. We're trying to staff every location that we can with qualified, trained poll watchers.
I asked Knotts, are GOP community leaders taking precautionary measures to protect free and fair elections?
Free and fair elections is the goal here in every event, and our election integrity efforts, they began in 2020, but they are a long-term security measure that we're going to take. We created a team, and there's about 50 people on it now, plus the volunteers that are coming out for poll watching. The core team is about 50 people, and we're looking at all aspects of election integrity. So what we're trying to do is to make sure that we're doing what we need to do on the ground to make sure elections stay free, fair, and in accordance to the rule of law. The rule of law is something that gets skirted around because of the pandemic. We really have taken efforts to communicate with both the election officers here and with our people to make sure things happen. A lawsuit has been filed in Fairfax County because they're trying to avoid some of the legally required information on the absentee ballot return. We're on top of that, and we're going to do everything we can to make sure that this election comes off without a hitch, and that future elections too are going to be watched closely, and any of the concerns that come out in relation to the integrity of the elections are addressed, again, hopefully before there's an issue rather than having to come back after the fact.
From Washington, I'm Cameron Kinsey, One American News.